Hey everyone. So this is my very first YouTube live. I'm not sure how it'll go, but I just thought I would share my journey of dabbling with all of you. And part of the reason that I chose this particular topic this evening is because I actually cannot dabble at the moment because my studio is in such a state that there's actually not a surface on which to work. So I have given myself, this is the 19th of December, I've given myself until the 30th of December to get my studio into some sort of a shape where I can actually work and do the things that I love to do. So I thought I may as well go live and just sort of see how this works. This is my very first live, so it's going to be interesting to see, to learn how it works. Um, so I promise these will get better as I practice more. And because YouTube suggested it, I've just gone live with my webcam. So hopefully the sound will be okay. And hopefully you'll be able to see. I'll just work in this one little area so far. My studio is about 400 square feet. It's kind of a weird shape because we built an extension onto the house. And part of the extension was a 32 by 16 foot um, what used to be a deck that we had on the back of our house. We took the deck down and put an extension in. And then we have a garage that kind of goes off at an angle. So this wall of the studio where these cabinets are is actually at an angle. So across the front, it's like 22 feet, and across the back, it's just over 18 feet. So it's kind of a little bit of a pie shape. But anyway, um, so it's approximately 20 by 20. So there's a lot of space in here, and I have it crammed full. So some of the things that you'll be able to see. So I've got a synthesizer here, which is where I am trying to create some music. Um, but I also have a whole whack of instruments, which are all over the place. So behind me, like over here, I have my grandfather's push button accordion, which I've had reconditioned, and I had put a couple of new straps on it so that it, um, and the base of the keys redone, that kind of thing. Over behind, um, which you can't really see, but I've got a guitar and I've got a banjo, and then up here I've got I've got a tin whistle. Um, so yeah, I've got stuff everywhere, and I just need to better organize it, to organize it better, I guess. And that's part of what I need to do. And then so art supplies are kind of all over the place. I've got art supplies stored in these drawers and in this cabinet. I've got art supplies stored a little bit under my sink. I've got art supplies stored on this table, which you can't see at the moment. Um, I've got I've got stuff stored everywhere. Um, I'm just trying to see. It looks like there's somebody watching, but I can't see. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I don't know if this will. All right, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, um, yeah, so I've got stuff sort of everywhere, and I need to sort of find a way to put it all together so that everyone. Hey, Will. Okay, good. That's that's good to know. Thank you for sending that message so that I can at least see. Um, I can at least see how this all works. So I appreciate you jumping on with me. I really do. Um, yeah. So what I need to do is I need to find a way because I do a number of different um, art projects or crafts or jewelry or music or whatever all at one time. I need a way to organize my things so that when I go to pause a project, because that's what I'll do, I'll pause a project that I'm working on and then I'll go back to it. But I need a way to store the things that I'm pausing so that they don't take up space where I could be doing other work in between. So I've got a painting which I'll show you in a future um, episode. I have two. I have one actually. Well, you're familiar with one of them, which is the giraffe one that we started working on, and I haven't gone back to it for months. And I have another one that I started that actually sort of has a soul. It started as a landscape painting. Well, I'll take this and just show you. There you go. So it started as a landscape painting, and then I turned it vertically. And I don't know if you can tell from this or not. I'm going to try to hold it steadily. But there's like actually faces within it. And so it sort of has this soul, and it's speaking to me, which sounds kind of bizarre. Um, so I work on it just a little bit at a time, then I sit with it, and then I work on it again, and then I sit with it. And I haven't decided, or maybe it hasn't decided for me which way we're going to go with it. But yeah, I'm enjoying the process of it. But but then I've got all the supplies out different places, and so they take up space. So what I need to do is I need to sort of I've given myself until the 30th to gut as much as I can out of this studio and um, give a whack of supplies away that I don't use anymore, and like just donate them to Boys and Girls Club or local schools, or depending on who I think can use what supplies. And then I've got the same sort of thing going on in the basement where I have 1,800 square feet of stuff. So when I had a shop in 2009, I brought everything from the shop that was left. I brought home, and a lot of it I've never touched. A lot of it's still in boxes. Um, a lot of it's out on shelves, but I haven't really been using it a lot. So I really need to divest myself of stuff. And ironically, I mean, I do organize. So I've got this old-fashioned card catalog behind me. So in this drawer, for example, I've got mechanical pencils. Now, why you need 20,000 mechanical pencils? But what happened was the kids were using them at school, and every year they'd want new ones, and they got them because we were retarded as parents. I mean, just sorry, that's not even that. I shouldn't be saying that, using that word, but we weren't thinking. And so now but I can't throw them out because I don't want to put them in the landfill. But now I have like 20,000 mechanical pencils. So every um, drawer has a thing. So these are like blending pads and sponges, and these are mica powders. I've got two powders, some notepads, labels, tape, blah blah blah. Some of it is stuff that I use for art. Some of it's stuff that I use for office supplies. So when I get organized, I get micro organized, and I can easily put my hand on things. But as you can see from what's over here, I can't even access the storage space that's behind the countertop there because the countertop is so high. And this middle part, like right here, I swear if I put anything else on this space here, it's going to actually just all fall down on the ground. So that's what I need to do. I need to organize stuff. So, oh, hey, Jonathan. So that's where the self-sabotage part comes in, because what feeds my soul is the dabbling, and what I've done is I've sabotaged the dabbling because I just have too much stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. So, so these are prime examples. So here's like 2 bags that I have right here for my feet of bulbs that I planted probably about a month ago now, I guess. And they're all the labels, which I need to go through because I do have a place where I keep them, especially with the first couple of years, so I know what I've got planted if I have a question about it. Um, And so I need to organize those and put them in the right container. And yeah, there's just a lot. Hey, David. So yeah, so if you guys have any ideas at all about how I can store stuff, so I'm gonna take this and just sort of show you just a little bit of what I can show you. So okay, so you can. Sorry, I'm trying not to make you sick while I do this. So I have. You can see like there's legs of a table set up. So I have a table on top of a table upside down. But behind that, I've got Japanese in those white boxes. I've got Japanese papers and cork fabric. And then I've got just empty storage stuff stored on top. And then here's what's supposed to be a workspace. But as you can see, it is covered with tools and like a China ram that was on, which you can barely see against that blank canvas, which has no place in my studio except that it was something from my childhood. Here's the paintings that I was talking about earlier. You can see the giraffe one is there behind the garbage bags, which are bags. It's a bag of bags. And then over here are so I had these beautiful, beautiful huge windows, but you can't really see them all because they're covered in containers that have most of that. The containers that are there are like quilting fabrics and some wool and that kind of thing. And then over here, I've got more storage, which is taking up half of my space in front of the patio door there because I moved them from um, when I got stuff when I brought some stuff home from Toronto. So can I make I David a Christmas card live? Yeah, I can make him a Christmas card live. You want to do it now? Is that what you mean? If there's a now, okay, okay. I can definitely do that. Um, all right, just give me a second because I have to move a couple of things because I literally have no space. So just give me a second. Don't mind the sound of falling things. Okay, let's see here now. The thing is, I don't know how I'll. My MCP card, I might need that. Okay. So, these. Okay, I got two things put away. That's good. All right, now let's see. All right, cardstock. Christmas card. So we'll use some red and maybe I'll use some shiny kind of bluey. It's hard to tell, but this actually has a shimmer to it. And then maybe no, that one works. Maybe I'll have this little bit of green in here. Okay. So now I move this because now I can't see what you guys are doing. You always have to follow things. Yeah, definitely laminating machine. So, okay, so here, this is the color palette that I've chosen, which is kind of a red and a green, obviously, and then a little bit of, can't really tell in this light. This actually has a bit of a shimmer to it. I don't know if I can show that at all. Not really. Okay, so I've got that. And my paper cutter goes over here. So I'll grab that. And I need some double-sided tape. So we can just gather the supplies first. Smell good. All right. Okay, so this little handy dandy thing just has a thing that comes out this way. And if I've got room for it on my desk, there we go. All right. So I'm basically going to cut this in half. So somewhere here I have glasses. Right there. Okay. 8.5 by 11. So 11 is going to be 5.5. Oops. Got 2 sheets here. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to take this and divide it into half, which is going to be 5.5. And I just there we go. So now I've got enough of a base for 2 cards if I wanted. These glasses make me sick when I'm not needing them. And I'll just put this to the side for the moment on top of the accordion. So I've got this as the base. And then normally what I would do is I would fold it in half. And if I had all the proper tools with me, I would actually score it so it gives it a nice crisp fold. But I haven't got that other either blade with me at the moment, and to look for it, you guys will be here all night. So I'm just going to take it and just do a nice crisp fold. And then you can just take anything. Like I'm just going to grab a palette knife, for example. Fabric might go flying. I just got a load of fabric in by a designer called Tula Pink, which are really fun fabrics. Like I'm just going to show you guys this. I mean, just look how much fun this fabric is. These owls, and these great big dynamic flowers, and then these sort of like tree-like things. Anyway, I digress. This is exactly what happens. It's like, oh, and with the fabric I can make. So, um, okay, so here's so here's the base for the card. And so we know that this was 8.5 by 11, and now it's and then I divided that in half again. So it's 4.25 by 5.5 is the base. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to make another layer that's going to basically sit on top of it like that. So I get the cutting board out again. And again, I grab 2 sheets. And I'm going to make another one that's going to be did I say that was that's 4.25. So I'm going to make this one 4 inches. Hope I measured this right. 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And let's just see if I measured that correctly. And I did. So that's going to basically be my next layer. And the next layer after that, I'm actually going to add some more red. So that was 4. So now I need to go 3.75 inches. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking 1/4 inch off each of the edges. 3.75. And normally if I was going to do this properly, I would have I'd have all these measurements written out ahead of time, so I wouldn't have to stop and do math in my head, which is not always my I'm an English drama art major, not math. In fact, I didn't even take math at university. All right, so this is just going to be 5 inches. Okay. So then this is what happens. So then you get little pieces like this left over. And, a normal person would throw that out. But a crafter or a paper artist or a mixed media artist would keep this and put it into a little container, because there are times when I will need a little tiny piece like this. So this is how it starts, people. This is exactly how it starts. Okay, so basically what I've got done here now is I've got a base. And you can make these as many layers thick as you want. I'm not really fussy about this color. Just give me a second here now. I'm not feeling it. I like the shimmer, but I don't like the color. Mm-hmm. Downstairs, I have 20,000 different kinds of cardstock left from the shop. Let's see if I can find something that's a bit shade. No, not the right shade. Maybe I'll add it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out this green because it's not working for me. I'll take out that green. I'll put in brighter green. I'll add in the yellow. Okay, just give me half a second here now. So I've got these squares of paper. So I'm going to use these with the red instead. Oops, there's the yellow. So the green that I just had, let's make this quick this way. Okay, so this is going to be 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I think it was by 4. Yeah. By 4. Nope. Oh, that's because I did 6 1/4. Explains it. There we go. Okay, 5 1/4. Oh, yeah, that's much nicer. It's a much nicer. It doesn't have the vintage feel, but it's going to be a bit brighter card. And then I'm going to add the yellow in, just because it's a nice. It's a nice bright. She pops up from the floor. It's a nice bright color to work on. Okay. So if you were to make a card at home, like I've got double-sided tape, which I because I can just easily use it. But you could use glue. You could use, you could use tape that you fold over like you would if you're making a present. You can do whatever you want. When you're making a card, it's nice to have something. So, like in one of the workshops that we did, I think I think you did this, or maybe it was Nancy, but we used they didn't have cardstock, so we used like an old manila, like a file folder, because it has a little bit more weight to it, because you want your card to be able to ideally stand up, whereas a paper card will just sort of flop over. So as long as you have something that has a little bit of weight to it, then that will work out really well. Okay, so now I've got to go. So that was 3 3/4. Now I need to go 3 1/2. By oopsies. I can't remember if that was 4 3/4 or if it was. So I'll try 4 3/4. It's easier to cut it again than it is to. Oh, tool stuck. There we go. Okay. So now I've got all the layers. Oops. All the layers. I'm just going to stick them together now. So the thing with these cardstocks is that there's, whoops, on the square ones that I picked, there's, I don't know if you can tell from here or not, but there's like texture. You can just kind of see it, sort of like in texture on one side, and then the other side is a little bit smoother. Because I'm going to actually So I said I was actually going to use a stamp. I don't think I have a Christmas stamp upstairs. I mean, it's shocking. I mean, I didn't make one Christmas card this year, not a single solitary Christmas card. In fact, I haven't even written out the ones that I had purchased. But anyway, on the green one, I'm going to use the texture side out just to give it a little bit more variety. So I'm basically getting, when you'd use double-sided tape, I'll show you the back once I have it done. So that's the tape put onto it. And then you can measure, but I just eyeball it. If it's not exact, it's a homemade, just go with it. And David, send me your address. Message me your address, and I'll send you the card. Please, if you'd like. And some people just put like stuff in each corner, which is probably less wasteful, but I don't. I just go with it. Okay, so this is what we have so far. It's 2 layers on. I want the texture side down this time. And had I known I was going to make a Christmas card with a stamped, I would have brought up some Christmas stamps from the basement, but they're all in the basement at the moment. Most. Actually, that reminds me, I've got a drink out in the kitchen. Not mimosa, but it's a nice gin. It's I should admit this here, but it's this gin. It's a blackberry and raspberry. A new gin I just discovered a little while ago. Okay, so here's the card. That's the base of it anyway. And then here you can put your sayings or your message. And then inside, if you wanted to, you could put, I would get another piece of yellow, but you can actually put a piece on the inside that you can write with, or you can get a gel pen that'll show up on the red already. I wouldn't just try a regular pen on this though, because it'll all sort of disappear into it. That's the base of the card. Well, so now, David, do you want the rest of it to be a surprise, or do you want to see the rest of it made? Surprise him. Yeah, I think so. Okay. I will surprise him. Yeah, so all these little bits and pieces that I cut up, I will put over into my handy dandy space thing, which I think is over here somewhere on the table, which I can't get to unless I move the guitar. And so goes my life. I'll put the guitar in front of the clarinet. Anyway, I'll just leave those over there for now. I'll move them over. But this is what happens. So I'll start working on a project, and I'll get all the supplies out for that project. Yeah. and then I'll have all those supplies out, and I'll think, oh, you know what? I should, there's a birthday coming up. I got to make a card for it. So I'll leave the supplies to the side to make the card, and then 3 days later I'll make the card. But in the meantime, I've also pulled out a whole whack of jewelry stuff, and I'll be doing the jewelry stuff here. And then I'll think, oh, I must go work on that painting now, and then I'll take all the painting stuff out and I'll work on that. And so this is how I get myself into trouble. This is how I self-sabotage. So thank you guys very much for keeping me company. And while I didn't get anything cleaned up, I did get cards started, so that made me happy. And David, I was serious about sending me your mailing address so I can send out this card to you. And I will bring up my my Christmas stamps and actually do an actual real Christmas card. So thank you guys for helping me try to figure out. So here's a question for you. How does the webcam work and sound? Yeah, I'll finish the card. Sound is good, even if I'm across the room, it still sounds okay. Yeah, thanks, David. So if I'm over at the, like, if I go, looks and sounds great. Okay, all right, that's good to know then. Because it's definitely easy with the webcam. I haven't quite figured out the OBS and all that kind of stuff, or videos not high def. Okay, interesting, because it's a 1080, so it should be high def. Could be my connection perhaps too. All right. I will play with that, because it's not like I don't have the equipment. I have lots of equipment. I actually have a webcam that I bought for streaming, which is probably buried here somewhere on my desk. Oh no, it's over there on this tripod. So yeah, and I think, and I could see that even now, every now and again, I would freeze on here as well. So that's problematic. I understand too. Oh, you got it in 720. Okay. Yeah, I just, whatever my webcam's on is what I don't think I actually said it. I think it just pulled it up, whatever it is. So that's good to know. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me and helping me test this out. And it's definitely more fun when there's somebody else here with you, for sure. And I'm gonna go get my gin and enjoy it. And David, you grab a mimosa. Okay. So Jonathan, would you say it's better to change the settings in the background then, just to a 720? I will. When you see me tomorrow morning, because I know you guys will be there, right? Jonathan and David, you're going to be there on the call tomorrow morning. I'll know, it's an audio call. You won't see it. I'll take a picture. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get at least one part of that area cleaned up tonight. I only have to the 30th. I have to get something done. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, Will. I appreciate it. Love to you all. Take care. Bye.